Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Forbidden Limited List update video for April 2023, the upcoming one that's gonna be coming near the end of April. Okay, so I think this might be actually no, no, that's right because Macedol does have Banlist that um shorter distance from each other. So this kind of makes sense. I think maybe they're trying to tone down the elements a little bit at the same time, but I'm not sure how much it will. Instant fusion being banned, like I know like they can bring out they have like a level 5 fusion. I'm pretty sure that Telemans do, and so that's toning that down. Maybe Kick Kalos or yeah, I think it might be Kick Kalos, but like it's like a level 5 fusion they have. Like that can either be turned into like their other boss fusion, or like you can use its effect and then maybe like turn to like link material or something. I think later on you could just like use that as like fusion material anyway, so that helps you get it onto the field or maybe even into the graveyard later on if you're using it for link material. But yeah, I guess that's the reason why that's being banned. Not sure how big of a deal that is, but I guess it does make it so that you can't go into like Telement players can't go into one of their fusions like super easily. So it does tone it down a little bit. And then limited cards, King of the Swamp and Foolish Bureau Goods, like, oh yeah, and then of course Instant Fusion, like, that's gonna be kind of tough for like other decks that maybe want to go into level 5 or lower fusions. But I'm not sure if like many of the other decks really cared all that much. But yeah, you can definitely let me know if you, like how you feel about that, if you were playing that one of your decks and if you're sad about it. That's maybe not T-Elements, because I know T-Elements play it, but maybe there's others. And then cards be limited. King of the Swamp, I think this was big for T-Elements. I'm not sure what other decks would actually use this card. It's not bad though. Like you get to discard, I think it is, like to add a polymerization, and then like you can like it's one of those fusion substitutors. So like this is one of the better fusion substitutors, since like it also allows you to discard it for a polymerization. Also the fact that it's like aqua and water is like, or mainly just aqua, like is pretty good for the Telemans, since they like using the aquas. Pretty sure that's the other reason they like using it so much. So yeah, I'm not sure how big of a deal that is, because I know the reason why King of the Swamp was mainly used in Telemans was when one of their fusions got banned, the one that like Rue Kalos calls for. I believe that's a big one. I think it is Kick Kalos, so that's a level 5. Here, I can look it up real quick. Kick Kalos is a level 5 here, and then I can also look up its effect. Yeah, Kick Kalos is the... I believe you can use Kick Kalos with the instant fusion. Yeah, Kick Kalos is a level 5, and when special summon... Oh, you can add a T-Elements card from your hand or center graveyard. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. And no, because like instant fusion doesn't negate any of these effects, I believe. I don't think instant fusion negates effects. No, instant fusion definitely doesn't negate effects. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. I can see why they did instant fusion, but I'm not Oh yeah, also when sent to graveyard by a card effect, so if you can send to a graveyard too. Actually, if it's sent to the graveyard by the effect of instant fusion, actually it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, so you also get the mill. So if you just wait and let let instant fusion blow it up, like you just get that effect as well. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I can see why they would ban instant fusion for T-Elements. I mean, now it's a little bit hard to go into this card, but this, I think it's still definitely easy enough that the Telements deck should certainly still be pretty good. And then King in the Swamp, I kind of talked about that, I think. And then Foolish Barrel Goods for sending your Telements, spells, and traps. And a few of them have pretty good graveyard effects. I think a few of them... Oh yeah, one of them has a send another Telements card. That's any Telements card. So basically you can trade Foolish Barrel Goods for sending that card for sending another Telements card. Now you can get some of your plays going that way as well. So I can see why they would want to limit Foolish Barrel Goods. But I'm sure that Foolish Barrel Goods was also pretty good in other decks that also like to use spell or traps. But I'm not sure like how... I mean, Paleozoics, I guess it could have technically played it, but I don't really play that in Paleozoic, so it's not really that crazy for them. Like, maybe Shadal's kind of care about that one, because they do have that Shadal fusion they can send to graveyard and maybe get like a draw for that by like putting it back into a deck or something. So it basically is like a Foolish Barrel Goods, a free draw right there. But I don't know if it's that big of a deal. You can like let me know what your thoughts on those, and then a few of the semi-limited changes are Change of Heart. Yeah, just like a card that lets you steal your opponent's monster, but unlike the Mind Control, you can actually attack with it. You can yeah, I think you're basically unrestricted after you take control of it. You can basically do whatever you want with it. If you want to attack with it, you can. I think even if you want to tribute, I think maybe you could. Like, unlike the Mind Control that didn't allow you to tribute, I think Change of Heart does allow that. So it's a little bit stronger than Mind Control. So it's cool that you can play 2 Change of Heart and 1 Mind Controls. Which basically gives you like 3 ways at least of like being able to take control of your opponent's stuff. Like, that's gonna be also pretty nice for Sky Strikers since they like playing spells anyway. Though I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, also Kagai, like that helps them as well. Getting that off the list. I think that's the one that searches during the end phase. Is that the fire one? I'm not exactly sure which one that is. I can look it up on my computer. Sky Striker, Ace, Kagai. Yeah, that's the one that searches for. I think that's just on special summon. Oh wait, no, that's the one that recurs it from the graveyard. Okay, that's pretty good. You can recur stuff from the graveyard, and yeah, so as long as you have Sky Striker spells in graveyard, you can like recur with Kagai. I mean, you still can really only like bring each of them out once per turn because they all have like a hard once per turn special summon. So it's not like you're gonna be able to like abuse effects multiple times anyway. And then the next one, Thunder Dragonhawk. I was hearing that people would didn't really care about like some of the Thunder Dragons coming off the list. Like, they're not that strong. Like, I think like at most they're I don't even know if they're tier 3. So like getting more powerful is probably gonna not be too bad. Fire Formation tanky, of course, cool for Tribe Gate players. Like, I mean, with Tribe Brigades aren't too bad when you combine them with like sprites, especially. Like, they're the decks that could be combined with sprites, and they're not too bad. But like, I don't know. I don't think people are saying they're the most powerful sprite variant, so it's probably fine for tanky coming off the list. Like, Tribe Gates aren't like too terribly powerful. And then the Dark Worm, that's the one that searches. That's a good one for pendulums that when sent to graveyard, as long as there's no other like monsters on your field, you can specify summon it from the graveyard. So Foolish Barrel can basically like help start your plays, or if you have like other ways of like getting into the graveyard, like Dragon Ravine or Dragon Shrine, there's plenty of ways to get into the graveyard before you have to commit to monsters. So Pretty easy special summon, allows you to start some of your plays, which is pretty nice. Oh, pretty good for a Dragon Link, I can imagine, since it basically you can get the special summon of it off first things. I think you can use it for Striker Dragon too, so you can basically go into Striker Dragon without committing your normal summon. I could be wrong, but I think that's one thing you can do, because Striker Dragon... Does Striker Dragon call for a 1,000 or less attack? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. No, just one level 4 lower dragon. So Dark Worm would be able to get you into your Striker Dragon play. So you'd be able to like get your play started there without even having to use up your normal summon, because it is a level 4 dragon. So yeah, so it's definitely usable to go into Striker Dragon. So that's pretty good. It helps out Dragon Link a little bit. That's probably the biggest deck that the Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm helps out. That and Pendulums actually like using the the gates, which I mean the gates aren't too bad because they're the ones that have the 0 scale and the 12 scale, although I think the one with the 0 scale is used more because I think that like is like less restrictive than the 12 scale one. But being able to search for one of your scales, like especially like a really good scale like that, like it's pretty great. I would imagine. Okay, and then that's pretty much a list right there. So I think I'm just gonna also go into the new accessories. Just talk about these a little bit. Looks like they're giving you Spirit Charmers. So that's cool. That might be in favor of that of one of the loner decks for the event, being Spirit Charmers. But I don't think this like directly ties into that. But if you would like to know more about what I'm talking about, one of the decks being Spirit Charmers for the Attribute 4 Festival, you can feel free to check out the first part of my Attribute 4 Festival April 2023 playlist, or I think I just call it Attribute 4 Festival playlist, something like that. You should be able to find it pretty easily if you just search Attribute 4. Yeah. And that'll be it for the video. So since I have time still, I'm gonna go into a legacy pack opening of 10. I don't think there's any other new. Yeah, that's the only one, but I'll click on in case like there's more to see. Yeah, and then here's what it looks like in a duel too. Pretty cool. And then let's go to the legacy pack. There it is. Okay. So another 10 packs here, and then I can get going. Okay, looks like I got a new card. Few of these I don't have a complete playset, so that's cool. Oh yeah, I also got new. Okay, a few of the new cards. Rabbit Dragon, not too bad, because you could technically bring this out in a Herbatic deck, so it does have some uses. I guess it also being a light kind of helps it as well. Lost Blue Breaker, Advanced Force. I guess it kind of makes tributing for level 7 or higher is a little bit easier when you only have to tribute one monster. But I think like the decks that do have like these level 7 or highs, like the biggest one, Monarchs, they already have ways of being able to cheat out those high level monsters anyway. Like, and they don't really care that much because it's pretty easy for them to put out plenty of fodder anyway. So I guess they don't really want to waste spots. And then the other deck that can maybe utilize this, Floor Under Rees, like they already have a pretty easy time to bring out their monsters as well. So I think it might just be a little slow considering it's a spell and doesn't really help advance the game plan. You'd much rather just run the main engine to advance the game plan for those decks. Dominable Fighter Lele. This is one of those cards that requires you to put into the defense position, and then it can't change its position for a little while unless you like use a card effect, which were pretty good back in the day, but I think that may be one of the new ones, so I'm not sure if like by the time it came out it was like still good. Ill Witch, Skull Mana, V-Tiger Jet. Here's some of the other ones. Sebek's Blessing. This is a field spell for Gladiator Beast, but I don't think they really use it all that much. And then that's it. I guess out of all of these, I don't know what my favorite card would be. I guess a Rabbit Dragon, just because it has a little bit of synergy with Erratics being a light dragon. They're pretty cool. So you could like technically use it in a few chaos builds, like you can like easily cheat out with a few with like the Heratics, and then like use as like light material as a light material for a chaos monster, as long as you are playing docks as well. So I guess that's something. I think there's like a bunch of other dark lights you could use as well, but this is certainly one of them you could use, like, if you wanted to. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the pack opening, pretty much it for the video. So thank you all who stayed for this pack opening. Thank you all who stayed for any of the new accessories section or the Forbidden Limitless, any of the news sections that you saved for. Thank you for that. I'll leave the verse in the description as well as the gratitude notes. And I'll leave the Bible verse discussion and pinned comment, so there's easy access to that. Okay, now I'll go into the outro. Please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for regular content. You can either ring the notification bell to be notified of all my videos, or personalized by simply clicking the notification bell and selecting all, or personalized. All is being notified about all my videos, whether you watch them or not, and personalized is being notified of the videos that you watch the most. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, that would be greatly appreciated. You can leave a comment about anything, either pertaining to the video, pertaining to the verse I leave in the description, or just something random if you'd like. Just please keep it appropriate. You can even leave an emote if you would like, but just be aware that it may lock you out if you paste too many of the same emote in a day. Just in case, like, if you decide one day you just paste emotes on a whole bunch of my videos, just keep that in mind. Usually you can fix that by either going with a different emote or by posting multiples of that emote instead of just the one. And thank you everyone who do watch my videos, and a big thanks to those who do watch all of my videos, but still thank you to everyone who only watches a couple once in a while, or just watches one of the games. I understand how it is, no matter how you do it. It's just appreciated, no matter what, no matter how you decide to go about viewing my videos.